The release of a classified congressional memo allegedly detailing abuses of surveillance powers by the FBI is expected to be approved by President Trump in the coming hours. The move has already led to a major backlash, both from the agency and the Democratic Party. For more details, Caleb Moffin now joins us live. Caleb, break it down for us. What's so controversial about this memo?
Well, a specter of anticipation is hanging over Washington, D.C., as everyone is anticipating the release of the memo. Now, at this point, we've already heard from many Republicans who say they've seen the memo and that the content is shocking. They're calling it worse than the Watergate scandal. Now, essentially, the memo is purported and expected to show great abuses by the FBI, and that essentially that the FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice were abusing the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, in order to spy on Donald Trump. That is what is being alleged. Now, we've already got a recording of Donald Trump on a hot mic, not realizing the mic was hot, saying that the memo will be released. Let's take a listen to what he said.
Let's release the memo. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't worry. 100%. Can you imagine that? Yes, sir.
Now, at this point, the FBI is saying and complaining, essentially, that they didn't have enough time to review the memo before its pending release. We've also heard from Adam Schiff, a top Democrat, who is saying that changes to the memo have been made without prior approval, and that and has called on the White House essentially not to release it. He's saying that it's not ready to be released. There have been changes that have been made to it. Now, we've also heard from Devin Nunes' spokesperson. Devin Nunes is the chair of the committee, and he's said that some of those changes actually came at the request of the Democrats. It was minor edits, some grammatical fixes, as well as 2 edits done at the request of the FBI. Now, this memo is set to really kind of challenge and kind of throw away some of the credibility of the FBI, as well as the entire Russia investigation. In response to this, we've heard a number of Democratic leaders say that the calls to release the memo are somehow a plot by the Kremlin. Somehow Russia is to blame for it. As the hashtag release the memo went up on social media, we heard calls to Twitter and top Democrats sending a letter to social media basically saying that they wanted them to investigate whether or not Russian bots were behind the release. But it's gone further than that. At this point, we've now heard allegations that perhaps the forces responsible and the chairman of the committee could actually himself be a Russian agent. Let's take a listen.
Is it possible that the Republican chairman of the House Intel Committee has been compromised by the Russians? Is it possible that they actually have a Russian agent running the House Intel Committee on the Republican side?
I hope that's not the case.
Doesn't his behavior speak of that, though? I mean, I'm not the first person who's raised this. He's behaving like someone who's been compromised.
Investigators reportedly are interested in Stein's advocacy for better relations with Russia.
Any vote for Stein is a vote that otherwise would have gone to Hillary.
Donna Brazil would seemingly buy into false Russian-fueled propaganda spread by both the Russians and our opponent about our candidate's health.
If there is objection, and I note the senator from Kentucky on the floor, I will say before I read this, if there is objection, you are achieving the objectives of Vladimir Putin.
Well, the Democrats want to answer that question, is Devin Nunes a Russian agent, with yes, but they know that they'll be sort of laughed off the stage for getting into conspiracy theories. I've never thought this is about Russia collusion, which isn't even illegal if it was. I simply think this is about finding a way to stop a powerful force that they can't figure out how to stop. Democrats in our country. This was invented by them. It was politically weaponized through the FBI and other levels of our federal government. And it's the only way they figured out how to stop or break the tie the American people have to this president.